Hello, my name is Amy. Welcome back to your mat. Welcome to your practice. Today it's going to be a simple and short mobility snack for the shoulders. So we will get started right away. No props are needed. Let's come to stand and let's start with some shoulder rolls to kind of warm up those shoulders before we move through the rest of our practice. So this is just going to be a short practice. You could do anytime, anywhere. You could also pick some of your favorites here and add those into your day. We're just going to work through the range of motion and get a little mobility for the shoulders. It can get kind of tight. Roll the other way. And we're also going to do this while standing to kind of incorporate a little standing pose to get a little double dose there. So go ahead and come back to neutral, and we're going to come into warrior two. So I'm going to start with my right leg bent to the side, and my back left leg is straight here. I'm still facing the side of the mat here. And we're gonna start with what's called eagle arms. So you have options here. If eagle arms don't work for you, you can always just give yourself a big bear hug. This is gonna give you the same kind of a similar idea. It's really helping to open up the backs of your shoulders here. So you can come into bear hug, or you can come into eagle pose. And so that was simply, we're just gonna take one arm over the other, doesn't matter which one, and you can either have the backs of your hands touching, or you can go with the wrap and have the palms of your hands touching. Sometimes that's difficult for people, so let's just go with the back of the hands if that's what works for you. Again, if you've got the mobility, go for the palms. And we're gonna stay here in this warrior two pose with legs, and the arms are gonna be in eagle arms. I'm gonna move my head out of the way so you can actually see me, but normally you would have your hands here right in front of your face. So we're gonna stay here and breathe for a few rounds. Staying in this pose. So you're gonna feel a little burn in the legs as the class goes on, but you're also gonna feel that shoulder opening. Let's take two more inhales and exhales through the nose. Nice big deep breaths. And if you're in bear hug, you're also getting a very similar benefit here, so no worries if that's what you're going for. Release the arms, and we're gonna go to the other side. So actually we're gonna go the other way with our arms. So go ahead and straighten out your leg for a moment, and now we're going to cross the other arm on top of the other. So in my case, I've got my left arm on top, and then you're going to, same thing, either come into your bear hug, or come into your eagle arms, backs of hands, or palms touching, and back into rebending that front knee, coming back into your warrior two pose. So we're going to feel it here. We're going to go to the other side and do a different arm variation here in a moment, so don't worry. The left leg's going to get some work too. Breathe here for a few rounds. You should really feel some opening in the backs there of your shoulders, kind of opening. Really feel it kind of stretching open there. So instead of opening the chest, we're actually opening the back body in this case. A couple more rounds, or a couple more breaths. Inhales and exhales. Deep breaths here. One more. Straighten that front leg, and now release the arms. Shake that out for a moment, and we'll go the other side. So now you're gonna turn to the back of your mat. Left leg will now be bent, and your right leg will be straight. And now we're coming back into our warrior two, but now with a different arm variation. So now we're gonna do what is called Cowface arms. So we're gonna start with the left arm up, and you're gonna bend it and bring that palm down to the back of your neck here. And then this other arm, your right arm, I'll show you this and then I'll come back into the pose. It's gonna come up, and either it might touch, it may not, it doesn't matter. Find a place, it might even be here. So you find what works for you. So come into your warrior two, left arm up, right arm bends back and around and comes to wherever it works on your back. So it's not important that they touch, but you'll notice the arms are in two different configurations here. So we're going through another opening here now. I've got one that's externally rotated and one that's internally rotated. So this is just a great way to get some good mobility in the shoulders there. So breathe in, breathe out. You can always close your eyes if you like. That kind of adds a little bit of challenge to the keeping yourself in space here, your balance. I like to add a little challenge when I can. Release your arms, straighten that front leg for a moment, shake that out, and we're gonna go the other way. So again, rebend that left leg, right arm up overhead, and now your left arm behind you. Any amount, however, wherever it lands. So you got that right elbow pointed up toward the sky. The left elbow might be pointed toward the ground, or it could even be out to the side. It depends on what your mobility is. And you will find over time that you will be able to bring that arm up a little higher as you work through this mobility. So don't worry where you are now. If this is something you would like to work on with shoulder mobility, this is a great one to come back to anytime. Let's take another breath here or two. Really breathing and feeling that opening in the shoulders. Trying to keep your arms straight up instead of collapsing in. One more nice inhale and exhale there. And then go ahead and release your arms, shake out your arms, straighten both legs, turn both toes so they point toward the long edge of your mat here. And now we're just gonna bring our arms up into cactus or goalpost arms here. And we're simply gonna work through bending and coming forward with the arms, and then staying with the elbows bent and going back as far as you can, as far as feels comfortable to you. You don't want to overdo this, so find what you're in range here, but keep the elbows up about shoulder height if you can. So you're just going to go through that a few times. So obviously in this case, I can go forward a lot more than I can go back, and that's the case, I would say, probably for most of us. So we're just going to run through that a few times, just really kind of giving that some movement, some mobility, a little fluid movement through there, through the shoulder joints. This can get really tight. Sometimes we don't move them through these range of motion very often, so it's just nice to give them a really good rinse here. And let's do two more. Drop the arms, let that go a little bit in your shoulders. Keep this stance, and now you're gonna clasp your hands behind your back. So you can either interlace your hands, clasp them, or you can grab your elbows, or just simply have your hands behind your back, whatever feels best. But we're really going now for a chest opening here and having the shoulders in a different configuration. So we're gonna bend forward here. So go ahead and come back into your wide-legged stance here. Bring your arms in whatever configuration works for you. And then you're simply going to inhale, get tall. Exhale, come forward about halfway. And we're just gonna stay here for a minute. You can always have a bend in the knees if that works for you and makes it a little better or a little easier. Less strain on the hamstrings. If you have tight hamstrings, the bend in the knee is gonna help. But we're trying not to like dump over here. We're really trying to keep that chest open and bright. And then exhale, let the arms come down to the mat and dangle for a brief moment before we come back up. Shake it all out, shake the shoulders out, come to a seat if you like, or stay standing. Hope you enjoyed this very short, but effective and helpful, beneficial for any shoulder mobility, whether you're having issues with your mobility, or you just want to improve it, or you just want to keep up mobility you have. This is a great thing to work through anytime, anywhere. Pick and choose which ones you like best. Thanks for joining me, and until next time.